Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Gabo the Shaman, and it's great to be with y'all. So today I had a really interesting thought process about, I've been studying this thing called the Miami Mall alien incident, which is like, it said that like the people saw a bunch of like three big shadowy like alien figures. Um from the footage that I saw, it didn't really look like a typical alien. The green man, the short green man with the big head and small lanky arms kind of thing. And so I just really wanted to talk about this because I have been in contact with extraterrestrials for quite some time now, and it's just an interesting experience that this is happening now, and why is it happening? Like, what's going on there? So I'll give you guys my take. I'm not saying that there were or weren't aliens there. I'm just saying, I'm just gonna describe to you, uh, you know, um, like I'm not really trying to prove anything. I'm just gonna try to like give this to you from my point of view, kind of thing. So, um, there's plenty of videos, yeah, on YouTube and TikTok, and I like Casper site, the channel Casper site. He covered it pretty good. Like he's a paranormal kind of uh he does paranormal reaction videos, and so he covered that pretty well. So I would check out that. Also, um so like there's been incidences of people pretty much just saying that they were stopped by the cops, and like there was this one guy who like also said that he was stopped by the cops, and he like actually got caught up. They put him in a jail cell for like a couple days to get his testimony and his eyewitness account and whatever. It seems like, along with the a couple of his family members. Now, with this kind of incident, it's so sensational, and people just want to learn as much about it as they can, and they're sponges for this information because it's a new incident to them. And so there's a lot of possibility of disinformation for this one. Like, we had one guy that I saw a few days after making his testimonial video, like about what he saw with his girlfriend in the mall. That he said that he went on vacation with his girl for the New Year and whatever. And a few years later, a few a few days later, he came out and since everyone was blowing up his phone, he was like, "Dude, like, guys, chill out." That was he was saying that that was a joke, like a prank, or uh, that he was just faking it. So, there's a lot of, stuff to look out for. Of course, we also have people claiming that, that people, like, they were forced to, they were forced to, like, essentially not testify before the public. Like, this kind of put their name into disrepute because they were there. So there's a lot of theories going around about, like, who's really telling the truth and whatever. And me myself, it's hard to like distinguish fact from fiction because you know it's like, I know that I have biases, and I know that I have preconceived notions of things, and I'm trying to not let that interfere with the things that you know, the things that I hear and see, and the news that I pick up, and what I believe. And this is called critical thinking. Okay. So we gotta let our opinions go by the wayside and just stick to the facts. Facts are, well, I'm not really gonna go into too much of the facts. Like, I told you guys, facts are, and here's the thing too. Like, we don't know who to believe, what facts to believe, so it makes it even harder. Facts are like people were running out of the building, right? Would they do that for just teenagers lighting fireworks? No. You'd probably get a few adults who were pissed at them and wanted to kick their asses, right? I mean, I would, but you know, so it kind of, there's a few stories going on there. There's teenagers with sticks, hitting people with sticks. There's teenagers with fireworks, hitting people with fireworks and throwing fireworks at people. There's the three aliens story, where they saw three shadowy figures. There's also a very interesting combination of those things. I've also heard like shots in the mall, gunfire, and then the story about teens, and so there's a lot of disinformation that out there, like different facts of what went on in this case. So, if you haven't heard, Bayside Mall in Miami, I think it was like the first or second weekend in after the New Year in January, and the mall got bunch claims are a bunch of aliens in it. So yeah, um, but so there's a few different like things going on here. So we have to go with what is the most believable. And aliens are not the most believable, but some people say that that's true. So but one so I'm not gonna comment on whether aliens were there or not. That's not the point of this. um it's very interesting to me, the witness testimonies, the what witnesses are saying about this. Of course, you don't know who to believe, but one guy was a graffiti artist or something, or like a tattoo artist or something like that, and he drew like teenagers were had this like metal box or something. It looked like a DVD player or CD player or whatever. It was pretty big, pretty like the size of a DVD player, and they were getting peer pressure, like peer pressuring each other to plug it in, and then they plugged it in, and then it started to glow and whatever, and it started like making these big circles and of like glowing light, and it shut the power off, and the power started to flicker and all that stuff, and then he said he saw like a being, a leg coming out of that, a dark black leg, and then he said he saw an arm, and then he saw like a mass like coming out. So I mean, we really don't know what the hell went on, and I also saw a video where this guy was saying that he got held by the police for like a couple days or something like that, and so he looked visibly tired, like visibly like just worn out, and you know his story was that the police told him not to say anything, and you know um so there's that. I mean, whether we want to believe that or not, I mean, he did release some footage that looks pretty damn good. Like it looks believable. Like there's this like tall figure, and it's from ground level, and it's this tall figure, and you can see his head moving past a window. Like he's in front of the window is lit up, It's like there's light in the window, and you can see this head moving fast. So that's, that's pretty darn convincing to me. Like it's amazing that we haven't seen more and more footage of this coming out. Like people with their video cameras or like their cell phones and whatever. People always have cell phones on them, so it's surprising to me that we didn't see this. Of course, that could have been confiscated by the police or whatever, but whatever. Um, so yeah, really hard to discern like fact from fiction here, and so that's why I'm just not gonna go get into it. Um, I will tell you that if there were aliens, this is probably why people decided to do that. So if you're into Stephen Greer, um, he's made several documentaries called, one is called CE5, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. And he leads groups into doing CE5, which is human initiated contact with extraterrestrials or aliens, if you want to call them that. There's a difference between aliens and extraterrestrials. Or, like, what I like to call them is interdimensional beings, because that's truly what they are. They're out of our dimension. They're not physical. I mean, they can be, but I think their physical body might be like on another place or whatever, and so they tend to just be like interdimensional, which means crossing crossing many dimensions. And so when we get a shocking kind of thing like this with the news of shocking alien whatever tormenting people in the mall and whatever, and people and police come and they have to you know shoot them or whatever whatever they can do. It's not like they're going to be able to do anything if it's a higher dimensional being, but okay. So whenever we have this situation, it's important to know a few things. One, aliens are different than extraterrestrial beings or interdimensional beings. Extraterrestrial means off of this earth. They don't come from and they don't originate from this planet Earth. Aliens, however, are not extraterrestrial. They are not interdimensional. Well, I think they can be. I think they can be interdimensional, which makes it interesting that we saw what we saw, in the videos and whatever. Um, and it's hard to like distinguish facts in that case. So I'm not gonna go there. But anyway, what I can tell you is that alien abductions are real. Okay, people have been criticized and chastised for, making up stories about fake abductions and whatever. And let me just tell you, their stories are real about, being abducted. But the thing is, they were abducted by aliens, yes. And aliens are not extraterrestrials. They are human made. Believe it or not, we do have the technology to make chimeras. We do have the technology to make different, different, like, animatronic or robotic beings. And this is even, like, I know that that's true. However, I wonder if it's even more advanced now that we have AI. You plug a AI into that, and It can operate itself. And I mean, look at what Elon Musk developed. All it really takes is to put a ugly looking alien skin on a robot, and you have an alien. And so what the government has been doing throughout these years is to psyop humanity, to psyop Americans. It's been using these robotic aliens to essentially kidnap people. And you know uh, it's silly. It's quite silly because why would an extraterrestrial being, a advanced species of beings, probe someone with like a needle, or a big medical instrument, or like so it's really interesting to like see that, like, they always use these huge instruments to like poke you and prod you and probe you and and whatever. And it's like a real alien could see right through you and see to the heart of like what's going on inside you. That's just so silly. And so we can see through these silly medical experiments that they do um when they kidnap somebody, when they abduct somebody, um, that it's just government made, or I won't even say government, because there's two types of governments. There's the above ground, Senate, House, all that stuff, and then there's the deep state, you know. Um, So I'm not sure if I'm gonna get in trouble with YouTube by saying all this stuff, but oh well, it is what it is. um, their terms of service are so damn uh gray that I don't know what I'm allowed to say or not say. So whatever. Um, and and so being that the aliens were invented to basically make us scared of anything beyond our world. And so, with this fear, they use this fear to say, oh, we're going to war with them. So, Project Bluebeam, beaming things like, making like, what is it called? Damn. Like, putting things in the sky, like, it doesn't even have to be fake, it can be a man made UFO or something like that. But yeah, things like that, it's just to get us in a paranoia, to get us panicked and things like that. Um, and also to, like, all of this is used to justify us to, you know, um, to put more controls on us. To, you saw it with the 2020 lockdowns, you know, and things like that. So when we're in this state of fear and panic, it's easy for them to control us. It's very easy. And when we don't feel safe, when we're questioning everything that's going on around us, and the fear and all that stuff sets in, and they use that against us. So that's exactly what they're doing here. They are putting out false aliens into the mall. Is and I'm not gonna say if that happened or not, but here's what would happen if they wanted to cause mass panic, mass fear about aliens. They tried doing this before. They tried, you know, um, with the UAP hearings, the UFO hearings in Congress, and the released Tic Tac footage. And if you're not familiar with that, there was a pilot, Air Force or Navy pilot, that basically, you know, um, he basically filmed a Tic Tac right next to his fighter jet, as he was flying, this thing came up right next to him and flew right past him. And, so he filmed that. And, those things are man made. Tic Tacs, UFOs, we've all reversed engineered that stuff. So it's all, man made. So, and, they're doing this to cause fear in us so that they can have a greater control over us. Except that this time it's not working. Like when they came forward with, the official Department of State saying that aliens do exist, nobody cared. There was no mass panic. There's no, whatever. None of that. Nobody cared because it was just like it's old already. Who cares? So, they discovered, oh, well, that doesn't work. We can't like disclose things via government agency or things like that, and that having a mass fear effect on the planet and on the citizens. So now we have to use terrorist events. Alien terrorist events. That's what they're doing. I can't say that that's what they're doing, but I mean that's what I'm led to believe they're doing. Or that's what they, that's what they want to do. That's what their MO is, to gain greater control. So, there's two different differences between aliens and, and interdimensional beings. Interdimensional beings, I've come to have relationships with these beings and talk to them and communicate with them. And I do this by meditation. I do this by astral traveling, by just having the thought in a meditation that I wanted to connect with them, that brought them to me. Now, Stephen Greer has CE5, which is human initiated contact. And I use that a lot. I use that, that form of meditation, that form of connection with the radio and the speaker blaring and the radio and the transmission and all that stuff that he teaches. But I just found it just much easier and much simpler to just go into a state of meditation and actually ask for connection, and they connected. They don't know, they don't need to know your coordinates, or like you don't need to vector them to yourself. That's more for you. That's more for your understanding and your, ability to like accept that there's something beyond your understanding with you. So, I mean, doing this stuff, doing all these meditations to connect with these beings, I've really discovered that they are pure love. They don't have any ill will against you. They don't want to harm you. They don't want to harass you. They don't want to abduct you. They don't want to do any of that. They love you and they want the best for you. So these beings, interdimensional beings, they're made of pure love. They want, they're just like humans. They have, their own lives, and they have their own, desires and wishes and like total separate personalities and all of that, just like humans. But they're at a higher dimensional frequency. They're not at a higher level than us. So that means that they're closer to the source than us, which means that they're made of pure love and light and all that stuff. and don't want harm against us or anything like that. Any evil thought doesn't occur to them. It's just not in them to have any evil in them. Now, if you get down into the second dimension, or like third dimension, second dimension, that's where all the, evil is. And so I tell people whenever they're doing these meditations, like, you don't need to fear anything. There's no reason to fear. All the crap, all the demons, all the evil, and all that stuff is in this dimension, unfortunately. Not in any higher dimensions. So that's great. So now we have this contrast of beings of pure love and beings that want to terrify you and horrify you. Okay? So there's this difference. And so what the deep state is trying to do, what the secret government is trying to do, is they're trying to scare us into handing over more and more and more control to them. They say, oh, the aliens are gonna kill us all and whatever, and they create all this mass panic and things like that, and they use that to control us. And what they discovered when they had that hearing about UFOs and UAPs was that, oh, the public doesn't give a rip about any of this because it's so old. Like, there's just nothing, there's nothing to fear when it comes to, like, aliens, man-made aliens. So, yeah, it's, just things like that. And, just give me a second. I'm gonna have a bite of my banana since I'm starving. All right. So yeah, it's if you look into Project Bluebeam or things like that, you'll find that they want to create a mass panic. They want to have everybody scared. They want to. One of their plans was to create like a terrorist attack event where it would be like aliens, and whatever. So, yeah, it's just interesting, like all this stuff, and kind of, it's hard to discern what is true versus what is false and all that stuff. But what I can tell you is their intentions. What I can tell you is what they want from you. Because every time they do something like that, where they're trying to cause mass panic or things like that, they just want more control from you. That's what they did during the, I can't say it here, but 2020. So yeah, I mean, let's see here. So we've, as far as like how they got this technology and stuff, we've had it, the real interdimensional beings got curious when we were trying to blow ourselves up with nukes. Because that sent shockwaves into the universe. When an atom is split, that has an effect on the universe. And it's interesting seeing the some of the reasons why this might be, because just like how powerful that bomb is and things like that, and how many people it killed and things like that. So yeah, so they, out of their love for humanity, out of their love for us, they came here and were like, no, you're not gonna do this. Like, so they started going to nuclear bases and whatever, and shutting down the nukes and turning them off, and you know, there was even one that got intercepted. Like I think we were sending one to the moon, like nuking the bottom of the moon or something like that. I forget the details, and I could be wrong about that, um, but yeah, it got intercepted. It went. I think I saw the video on that. I saw one where craft was basically shooting lasers this way. It went this way. It went like back and forward from all directions, and it just blew it up, or like it didn't blow it up, but it blew up the fuel tank. So, or I don't know. I forget how that went. But anyway, yeah, they don't like nuclear weapons. As strange as that might sound, they just really really have a problem with that. So, yeah. Um, so I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, they just like wanted to explain to you guys like how they'll use fear against you, and you know, things like that. And so yeah, I mean, because what they want is, with all these EYP hearings and all of this, they want a war with aliens. They're already starting, or they want a war with interdimensional beings, and they're already starting to do that with they have like systems and technology in place to shoot down extraterrestrials, and to like go after them and kill them. So it's I don't know the full details of that, but due to check out Stephen Greer's videos, please. Like, I mean, that dude has been trying to get this information out to the public for so long, and we're making progress with it, but it's just very hard. It's a very nuanced subject, so everybody wants to conflate and make aliens evil and whatever, and so yeah, there's a lot of misinformation, disinformation, and conflation, and yeah, so check out Stephen Greer and his films and his documentaries and all of that stuff, because that dude is legit. I mean, he is legit. He has a bunch of proof. He has, and there's even stuff where, that I really can't get into because, where it's like the government is, or the deep state or whatever, is going after witnesses, going after people who have witnessed these things where, they want to kill them, they want to intimidate them, they want to, shut them down, and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a very important subject, and I can't tell you how important just meditating with these interdimensional beings is, and will be in the future, and is now. And I think that we are on the precipice of a major disclosure event. And check out Stephen Greer's conference that he did in June of 2023. I believe it was June, July, something like that. Yeah, go check that out, because it's just amazing, all the things that he's talking about and teaching us. So yeah, and yeah, so I guess that's about it for me, guys. And all I can say really is just please keep getting in tune with the extraterrestrials, the interdimensional beings, please meditate and ask them to show themselves to you and to have a better connection with them. And these beings are beings of pure light, pure love, pure kindness and goodness and all that stuff. They don't have any ill will against you at all. They don't have any ill intent or anything like that. So, alright, guys. So that's it from me, and we will talk to you next time. Take care, guys. Peace.